Attention, our Tabletopics master is past club president and the club's first two-time recipient of Toastmaster of the Year, distinguished Toastmaster Carmelo Bellardo.
All right, we've got 19 participants and we've got 20 minutes, so let's see if we pull this off. If you don't know the slogan that I give to you, just careen right through it at full speed. Have a Coke and a smile. Toastmaster Hannah Randall.
Have a Coke and a smile. So when I was a little kid, I loved soda, like most of us did. I would just guzzle it every time I got a chance to have one at the restaurant because my mom was a healthy mom, so no soda allowed at home. And only a couple of years ago, I recently made the decision to stop drinking soda. I had to slowly wean myself off of an addict. And now I actually, whenever I take a sip of Coke, I can't drink it, it's so sweet for me. And now I am kind of glad I did that because less caffeine for me, besides coffee and tea, but I can't ever get over that. So, and as the smile aspect, I always try to careen through life, the smile.
Very good, very good.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Toastmaster Eva Sanchez. Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Talk about it one minute. Feel like a nut, or if you don't. It's a candy slogan. It's a commercial slogan.
Really?
Okay, I don't know about that slogan, but I really like to talk about something. Sometimes you feel like you want to do something, or you don't do anything. So for me, it's very important. Try to do your best all the time. Doesn't matter what is going on. So push always yourself for 100%. So that is my point today.
Great! Toastmaster Jeff Rubin.
Are you guys not listening?
Hold it, hey,
Are you not listening? They're great! Who knows what that is? Tony the Tiger. Tony the Tiger. It's great, right? Frosted Flakes. Who loved Frosted Flakes? Who still loves Frosted Flakes? But if you're like me, who would say above Frosted Flakes is the coveted Lucky Charms? And who ate Lucky Charms would eat the oat first and save the marshmallows? Anybody else? If I could just get a box of the marshmallows and just pour it and pour milk in, I would be in heaven and I would probably die quickly. I thought my parents loved me because we had not just the unhealthy cereals, we had the healthy cereals. We had Chex brand. We would make our own Chex Mix. Anybody ever have the Chex Mix? Mom was making Rice Krispie treats before you could buy Rice Krispie treats in the stores. And you know the irony of have a Coke and a smile? If you have a Coke, pretty soon you're not going to have a smile. You can pour Coke on a battery and take the corrosion away. Do you know that? I thought my parents loved me. Then I realized there's not healthy cereal and unhealthy cereal. It's all unhealthy, but boy, is it delicious. Thank you. That's great!
The quicker picker upper, Toastmaster Rebecca Edmonds.
Trying to remember the quicker picker upper. Is it Bunty? Yes, that's okay, the picker upper. I love that. Now I do remember it, where they have the two containers, right? And you have the average paper towel and the bounty paper towel, right? And you put the paper towel with the liquid in each one, and you do the quicker picker up. Yeah, I guess my cleaning skills needed a little refresher to remember that jingle. I'm careening down fast, so I better wrap it up. Thank you.
Bet you can't eat just one, Toastmaster Robert Lee.
Bet you can't eat just one. Familiar with the slogan, but I've totally forgotten the province. Lace. What is it? Lace? Isn't it interesting, these slogans? They're the result of someone in marketing. And we kind of take it for granted, but these slogans have such power. A really good slogan can make or break a product, make or break a company. The quicker picker upper, for instance, who thought of that? That just seems odd. Picker upper, that's not a word. Why would they choose that as a slogan? Yet, someone in marketing knew this is going to get the American people. They invested a lot of money. It's amazing. Anyone in marketing? I'm kind of amazed at people in marketing who are successful at it. And my wife worked for someone who was in marketing, and he was kind of a genius. So anyway, I think we put down marketers quite a bit. I know I'm not talking about a slogan, but I'm talking about marketing, and I think it's an important job here in America. Thank you.
Because you're Toastmaster captain of your Jared.
You know, what a stupid slogan. We marketers come up with stupid things, and then somebody actually votes on it, and it has to go through a lot of people before it becomes a slogan with a company. I mean, it's very important. It's part of business, some parts of which are just stupid. But anyway, if you think about it, we're all worth it. I mean, how stupid is that? We are all worth it. And I'm trying to figure out how I can fit Corrine into this, but. Yeah, I mean, that's the easy thing. I'm trying to think of something creative and what a marketer would come up with, but I can't. So usually marketing's about double entendres. I can't think of anything. So I'm going to careen into my seat before I hit red light.
Think outside the bun. Toastmaster Gary Adams.
Remember that one. These tabletopics do make me feel like we know what happened to Mike TV when he grew up. Who knows who Mike TV was? The Chocolate Factory, the little kid that watched TV all the thinking outside of the fun. Speaking of lame slogans, that would probably be one of, who thought of that when no one could come up with one? And they went, wow, somebody just needs to think outside the box, and then they came up with think outside the bun. Not the best one. The Coconut Smile one, that one definitely worked pretty good, although it did associate bad teeth with sodas. Cereal always had the best slogans. All of us as little kids, we would sing half of those slogans. And I'm not going to spoil any of them, but we all knew the Almond Joy one, and we all knew so many of these slogans that we carried and we talked about, wrote them down, and we would careen into our day thinking about the silly slogans until we got our parents to buy whatever product it was. Thank you.
A diamond is forever. Toastmaster Alex Alatrista.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. A diamond is forever. That slogan reminds me of the movie How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. It's one of my favorite romantic comedies.
And sometimes I like to imagine that my life is a romantic comedy, but that's just not the reality. So instead, I have to bring myself back and pray my way through life. And to do that, I like to practice meditating and working out and just going about my day as I typically do. And that's all I have to say.
Got milk? Toastmaster William.
Got milk?
This is my dad. He's got a weird medical condition, the same one that I've got. And he, for his weird adaptation of it, needs milk constantly. So my dad walks around with a carton of milk like a crazy man. I'm sure everybody thinks that thing's spiked with vodka. And I'll just hand it. Hey, Will, can you hold my milk? Yeah, Dad. And you know that you're going to end up walking around with the milk for the next 30 minutes while he walks hands-free and enjoys life. Come on, I got to walk with your milk. I got to look like a psycho. My favorite thing about it, though, is he recently figured out that in horror movies and in slashers, the evil person always drinks milk. So I think that's a little telling about my dad. Like, why are you drinking milk, Dad? What are you up to? What are you doing when you can't sleep at night? That's all I got to say. I don't have milk.
Fly the friendly skies. Toastmaster.
Who?
Fly at friendly skies. Which airline was that? United. This reminds me, back in the 70s, TWA had a saying, up, up and away with TWA. Does anybody remember that? Yeah. And in Kansas City, we have, where I grew up, TWA was a hub then. And I remember we were kids sitting in the back of that station wagon going to pick somebody up at the airport. And it was so ingrained in us, up and away with TWA. We would sing it in the back, you know, those, and I think of Don Draper when all of these come up too. And they would sit in the conference room and present these to their clients. And sometimes the clients were like, yeah, we love it. And sometimes it was just like, no, poor Don was, you know, foiled again. But he came out in the end. As all of these slogans have lived in our mind for years. Thank
you. The ultimate driving machine. Toastmaster Nadine Martin.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good
morning. The ultimate driving machine. Okay, I don't actually know which company had that slogan. BMW? Oh, okay. Great company. I think that it's a solid slogan to have, considering how upscale BMWs are and how much people assign BMW to luxury. So it makes sense that they would have such a slogan. I'm not too sure if they've done a great job of marketing it, but if it's such a great car such as BMW, I know that typically they don't run advertisements. So maybe that's why I haven't heard the slogan. I'm not too sure if anyone else has heard of it. But that's it.
It's good to the last drop. Toastmaster Roy Scheer.
I'm on the program.
My mistake. Toastmaster Benjamin.
I was hiding here. What is it again?
Good to the last drop.
You know, I was too young to hear that old saying. I can assimilate that to a good dinner or something with like honey, for example. That might keep you carrying to the kitchen looking for that dish made out of honey. And this, by association, it is just like anything that you like, you want to do it, you want to perform it, you want to get it right away. So this is my take. In other words, if there is a product that is like that, very sweet and exquisite, you want to get to it and buy it. This is one of the marketing secrets. That's all. Thank you.
Maybe she was born with it. Maybe. It's Mabel. Toastmaster Linda Miller.
Oh, yeah. I knew you were gonna call me for that, but I'm gonna segue into a different one. So the last drop. The last drop reminds me of my grandmother and the Maxwell House can and her coffee. And what I would do with this can is I would take it, empty out all the grounds, and I would use it for my pet lizards.
Oh.
Because I didn't have a pet. So I would go outside, catch some lizards, put them in, put some grass in there so they had some food. And then the next day, well, I would actually poke holes into the top so they had some air to breathe. And then the next morning I would come out and check on my lizard and it was gone.
Oh, no.
And I would say, well, these holes aren't big enough for it to escape. But after all those years, I figured out my grandmother had pity on the lizards and she would let them out. So, good to the last drop.
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now? Well, I can because I'm deaf. And this year, so can you hear me now? What would that be? Can you hear me now? It's what I need. Advice that I won't be all the time like this, or excuse me, turn. You have to be on this side. I can't. That's exactly what I need, a device that I can put in my ear and listen and hear what you have to say. Thank you.
We can hear you.
Good. Toastmaster Kincaid.
I thought I was gonna get the, get to the last drop one, it's my cough. I'm gonna careen into some interesting stuff. BMW reminds me of something. When I was growing up in a little town in New Jersey called Tobacco, which nobody's ever heard of, it's not far from New York City. And one time a guy moved into our neighborhood, he said his name was Joe Pat. And he was living next door to us, and we got to know him. He was a very nice guy, he's a sweetheart. And then one of my other neighbors figured out he was in the witness protection program. And we wondered what he had done. Did he murder somebody? Is he escaping from the feds or whatever's going on? So all I know is this. He was a nice guy and he was very generous. Because every morning he would give me $10 to start his car. I thought that was very sweet.
Yes, we can. Toastmaster Tim Ricky.
Where did that come from? Someone threw me in here.
MLK.
Barack Obama presidential candidate.
Oh, okay, thank you. I'm a Democrat, so that's helpful. When I think of that, I kept thinking I got Kareem too also. You see, you grew up with the Lizard of Oz, is that right? But some of these sports are really good. One of my favorite is, you gotta think out of the box. And my answer was always, there's a box, no one told me. Because I do always think out of the box, because I think as a parent, you wanna grow and you like. So that's a great subject, so I'll read that to my students.
Make America Great Again.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
Trump, make America Great Again.
I don't recall that one. I will say,
It was probably one of the best slogans for a presidential election that I've ever heard. Mainly because we really needed it. And sadly, we need it again. We have a tremendous amount of negativity in this world right now. And we need some positive. And that positive needs to be a strong, strong America. And that's not going to happen under our current administration. Pardon my language. Thank you.
Well, how do you really feel?
Mr. Summer, all speakers are qualified.
They all qualified. Very good.
Thank you. Please vote for 2. And take a 2-minute break. Mr. Summer, may we have 2 minutes on the clock?